So I can wash this pan now. No problem, no pain. Perfectly fine, perfectly normal. I was a professional guitarist. I was 20 years in. That was my livelihood. It was mostly my identity at that time. So for years, I had burning pain in strange places. My wrists, my shoulder, fingers, the balls of my feet. The wrists were the worst. So you can see my wrists. They're fairly even, but as you can tell, this is actually my right wrist. So this is right hand, and in guitar, in flamenco and classical music, you have to spin this hand quite a bit in flamenco. Well, for a long time, especially under the pain, I could barely move it like this. Now, I believe I have some damage in that wrist. As you can tell, I can't bring it all the way down, but it's fully functional. And there's a time when I thought for sure that everything in that wrist was going to fuse and it was just going to be a total disaster. That is, if I lived long enough to even play guitar again. One night I was standing at the kitchen sink just trying to wash this pan, and it was empty, of course, with a little bit of water on it, and I couldn't hold it because my wrist hurt so badly. It was excruciating pain, and the weight of it, this stainless steel pan, was too much. So my wrist could not bear the load of a kitchen pan. And at the time I had this really quiet, very bleak thought, which was, is this it? Is this going to be it for me? Again, because at that point it was just getting worse, and I couldn't even imagine being in my 30s. You start questioning when people have these kinds of problems, how long do they live? So medicine had a vocabulary for what I was dealing with, or at least categories: rheumatic arthritis, psoriatic arthritis. But the labs would always show up negative, and there was no framework, even if they were positive, for rheumatoid or another inflammatory type of disorder. There really was no way to fix it, just other than immune suppression. So effectively, they could name it, but they didn't have any tools to actually cure it or fix it. So that moment at the sink, that's what eventually pushed me into my doctorate, because I had to figure this out. I didn't want to live like this. And I really have always been self-authoritative, I suppose. And I couldn't take no in my health as an answer. So here's what I want you to hear if you're in the same place. Something similar to what I went through. If your labs keep coming back clean and you're still hurting, you're not crazy. I've had plenty of patients tell me that they've been told they were crazy. Clean labs don't mean there's nothing wrong. There's a reason your body is doing what it's doing, and the Western system of healthcare just isn't always set up to find these outlier problem causes. The first thing that really moved the needle for me on this was a product called lauricidin, which is a monoester of lauric acid from coconuts, as an anti-inflammatory and anti-infective. But that's not the whole story, of course, because years later it was starting to come back. So I had to find another solution because that particular solution wasn't working anymore. But finding that one product that did make a difference gave me the hope and proved to me that there were solutions. This wasn't a one-way street. And it makes me wonder how many people are out there that actually have something similar, and felt like I truly did feel at that time was almost hope was lost. So if that's you, there's a link in the bio to this original article that I put up on the blog on Master of the Body website.